The Shark.
Wow, the Shark. I like that.
Kevin ain't gonna like that.
Huh?
Kevin ain't gonna like that. Barbara's not gonna like that.
No, but they know what it is.
They
though.
know what it is,
yeah.
though. I mean, because you can have money, but you got to hustle.
Yeah.
You got the hustle. That's what it is right there. Like when you see the show, everybody's a fan of Shark Tank. It's almost like that old school show that everybody can, the kids,
Right.
the parents, everybody's going to sit in front of because everybody got a goofy idea.
Absolutely.
And everybody got to
100%.
hustle and they want to feed their family. They want to take care of things. So you're in the market because you're going to be at the Oxford Exchange tonight and doing a book signing on your bestseller, The Power of Broke. Had to get you in here because, first of all, it's just an honor to be able to talk to you. But secondly, we all broke.
Yeah.
So if we got power that we have not tapped into yet, you need to explain that.
You know,
to
I always
us.
joke about it and say, broke is a temporary situation. Poverty of the mind is permanent, right? So, I grew up broke. Right, and everybody I put in the book, I put 15 other people in the book. They grew up broke as well. People like Kevin Plank who are running Under Armour. Even Steve Aoki, he didn't grow up broke because his parents had money. It was even harder for him to get into music because everybody was like, "You're not keeping it real. Get out of here, little rich boy."
Yeah.
Right. So it's all a mentality, and it's not just you have to be broke. From a financial standpoint, because I exercise the power of broke every single day.
Not
now,
anymore though.
I'm here, right? What time is it now? Because I was drinking until like 3 in the morning.
He has a point.
I didn't
That's
sit
what
down
broke
as a
people do.
representative.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be in here.
No, absolutely, man. It's about the hustle, the grind, everything.
You've talked about working with the Kardashians, Diddy, just the list goes on and on. I know you have a lot of famous friends. Who would we be surprised to look in your phone and be like, damn, you've got this person's phone number?
Who's the most famous you have?
The most famous?
Yeah,
Ooh, I
People
don't
who got
know.
money that we probably don't even know.
It wouldn't even be money. Like I was honored the other day when Catherine Zeta-Jones gave me a call about some stuff. I was like, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Whoa, you know what I mean, right? That was impressive, right? You know who really? I think Santana. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who that I really love, and obviously he just passed away. He came to New York several times, and Prince asked me to take him out, and I took him to the Cheetah Club several times in New York City. And that was really an honor for me. Like, Prince called me and was like, he was like, meet me at the club. Shoot up. And and I was like, whoa.
Did you believe it was him, or were you like,
oh
whoa?
no, I knew it was him. I knew it was him. I mean, when the guy gets on the phone and says the next person's voice you will hear on the phone will be Prince.
Ooh.
I was like,
Was that
okay.
guitar solo? Purple smoke came out the phone.
But that was from my side. I was playing the guitar, right? Excited. I went to the club with a purple cummerbund on. But I think that's the only one that comes to mind right now. But yeah, I the most famous person would be the president of the United States, of course. I mean, I was as an ambassador, I can't believe that the president and his staff calls me and it's a really amazing thing.
We've had a chance or two actually to interview him, and it's like it is talk. It's almost like we say talking to you. You're talking to somebody who you feel has been
amazing.
to the places that his South Side of Chicago comes out in those conversations.
He's absolutely amazing individual.
And let me ask you this because you mentioned networking. You mentioned putting pieces together and stars with brands. You had a come up that was probably the biggest come up of all with LL.
Oh, yeah.
And the Gap commercial. You got multiple people fired.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get them fired. They got themselves fired.
I mean, nah.
All right, so that's the power of broke. So if people don't know what you're talking about.
That's a hustle that you have to explain to the people.
All right, so if people don't know what you're talking about, so at a certain time, the Gap wanted to basically hit, the hip-hop market because they thought it was getting hot, right? And, they weren't true to the market. So they decided, I'm going to hire LL Cool J. He felt a little offended the way they talked to him. He felt that they were just like, whoever you are, whatever, just come shoot.
Do your rap thing and just get us some customers.
Exactly.
And, of course, L's from Hollis, Queens, where you are from.
And L
there's
put
a family
in the Gap
there.
ad. He put in there in the commercial. He puts "For Us, By Us" on the low. If anybody ever wants to see it, it actually is what they say one of the biggest marketing coups that ever happened.
He was wearing Gap jeans. He was wearing a Gap shirt, even a nice Gap throw wrapped around his waist. But he had the FUBU.
He had a FUBU hat
because
he said at that time. Remember, he wouldn't ever take his hat off. He said, "I have a custom hat. I have to wear it." So he puts in there "For Us, By Us" on the low. They spent $30 million airing the ad, and it was a FUBU ad. At the end of the day, everybody from the Gap got fired, and everybody who worked from the advertising agency got fired
because they didn't recognize that this FUBU brand was riding off of their ads.
Again,
$30 million national ad. is now a FUBU vehicle.
And absolutely, that's the power.
That was
of broke.
that was the hustle come up though.
We
that
were
put you in the
shocked.
Hustlers Hall of Fame right there.
Shocked.
Oh yeah.
They didn't do their homework. They didn't understand the market, and they thought they could just buy their way into the market. And they didn't exercise the power of broke. They should have went to a small little boutique agency who understood the culture, right? And that's what happened. Now I have to take my hat off to them because you know what happened. Their sales in the hip hop market increased 300%. Because kids thought they can buy FUBU at the Gap. Right? New management comes in.
Wow.
They call us up. We agree on something, and they end up spending another $60 million re-airing it, and everybody was happy.
Wow. Okay.
And,
all right.
and so I have an ego. I wouldn't have done that, right? I would have been mad, right?
Right.
They said, you know what? We're gonna find a silver lining.
They saw the bigger picture.
Exactly. So I had to take my hat off to them.
No, that's major right there.
So did you ever have the conversation of selling FUBU at the Gap?
I did, and I don't think it worked out for various reasons. We didn't really want it at the Gap at that time because we were in a certain place. We didn't want it at that time, but they were amazing corporation to work with.
Man, that's incredible. I could talk with you all day, like I said, and I know I gotta take a break here. But how long? Because I know y'all got to rest for tonight. How long do I got you?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right. We'll take a short break here, reset, and come back and close out with Daymond John, the Shark Daymond at Twitter, and of course Oxford Exchange tonight at 7 p.m. where he'll be out with his New York Times bestseller for a month.
2 months.
2 months. Jeez,
Woo.
man. I mean, why are you up
It's
right
actually
now?
3 months.
Oh, sorry, 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
Why are you awake right now? I'm just saying.
What's that power of broke?
I was touching Tampa last night. I don't know why I'm awake right now.
That's what we're talking. It's perceptual research for anybody who's asking. All right. On the other side, we get in with Daymond John from the Shark Tank on Wild 94.1.